What's up, everybody? I need to reshoot this video. These shooting conditions aren't any better, but I just made a post and my video is sideways. So if you just watch that, you don't have to watch this one. This is for my friends in Michigan because being fat there is an issue. And for those of you who don't know, I used to be in Michigan from 3 years old to 23 years old, and I was interested in health, and I felt like the giant outcast there. I would be at parties cooking vegetable egg white omelets, and everyone else would be drinking, and I would be the one being made fun of. So I ejected myself from the poor health mentality state. Michigan at the time was the second or the third unhealthiest state back in 2006, and so 13 years ago. And then I moved to California because I wanted to start a gym. And so I moved to the mecca of health and fitness, and I started a gym. Started personal training people out of my one-bedroom apartment, and I got a squat rack and a kettlebell machine, and one client led to 2 clients, led to 10 clients. I had another job also at the time, so I was making a lot of money, so I was buying a lot of equipment. I eventually moved into a 10,000 square foot gym and had lots of members, an awesome community. And then I had 2 10,000 square foot gyms, and then I had a yoga studio, and I did a lot of things in the health industry which were cool. And I used to give a lecture about why we have fat. And so I'm going to do that now, and I'm also going to talk about how to reduce the amount of fat on our body for aesthetic reasons, and also how that's healthy for us, even so healthy as to extend our life with stem cells and how that all works. So we are animals, right? And the reason why we store fat is because fat used to get us through the winter time. It's a survival mechanism of the body. So if you think about it, if there were animals that came across food or a fruit tree or something that it could eat, the animals that would be attracted to the food and ate a lot of it, so much of it that the body stored fat because it was an abundance of food, those particular animals would be the ones that would survive through the winter. If other animals from that tribe or that pack or that clan, whatever, stumbled upon the food and didn't eat it because it was like, nah, I'm good, I'm fed enough, I'm satiated enough, those animals wouldn't have stored fat, and those animals would have died. So within our genetic code, within our genes, we have I guess I'll call it, we have can't even think of the word right now, we have the instinct to overfeed because it is for our survival. Now the thing is that the winter time never comes, right? We live inside houses, we live inside cities where there's a grocery store down the street, so our body's packing on fat, and the winter time never comes. And that leads us to, over the years, become fatter and fatter and fatter and fatter. Now let's talk about where the body stores fat. So our body is extremely smart. So it's going to store fat in places that are important to us, and because those places are going to need the fat. So first, our body stores fat in our belly, okay? So, and when our body stores fat, it puts a little stem cell in the fat. So the body's producing stem cells primarily from our liver, and our bone marrow is producing stem cells, and stem cells can go into our body, if you guys don't know what stem cells do, and they can turn into any type of cell. So any type of cell that we need a stem cell can, like, that's the baby cell that turns into every cell. So when our body's storing fat into itself, it's putting stem cells in the fat. Because why? Because it's expecting the winter time to come when we're starving and we're going to need that fat for energy and nutrition. And we also are going to get a stem cell to use, right? So when our body's putting fat onto our belly, it's putting stem cells there also. After our belly fat is sort of maximally overloaded, our body's then going to start packing fat inside of our bone marrow. And then once our bone marrow is loaded, then our body's going to start packing fat in our kidney, and then our liver, and then our blood vessels. And you guys all know what happens when fat comes into our blood vessels. We end up eventually dying. And that's how many, probably people in our families, die, is because we've got an abundance of fat in our blood vessels. And that's a whole deep subject that I know some of us are going to argue that it's not fat that kills us. And I'm not saying dietary fat, I'm saying fat in our bodies, which could very well be caused by eating sugar, not fat. For the most part, it is caused by eating sugar, not fat. Anyways, so how do we reverse this? How do we get the fat out of our blood vessels, get the fat out of our liver, our kidneys, our bone marrow? Well, the easiest way is to simulate a winter time, right? Quit eating, fasting. So clinically, meaning studies, which don't always mean anything, but clinically, the only way to increase life, the only way they've ever found how to increase life is calorie restriction. And it's because of this process that I'm about to explain. If we reduce the amount of calories that are coming in, if we stop eating, the body's going to have to start utilizing that fat that's stored in ourselves. And when we start utilizing that fat that's stored in ourselves, guess what's there? Stem cells, right? So when we have an abundance of stem cells in our system floating around, willing to replace our damaged cells with these new fresh cells, it's going to extend our life. So just in terms of like, how do we become healthier? Well, we have to get this fat out of our arteries, out of our liver, our kidneys, our bone marrow, and our stomach. It's actually good for us. It doesn't just look aesthetically pleasing. Although it does look aesthetically pleasing for a reason, right? It doesn't, like, we are attracted to beings that look a certain way because those beings are going to lead us to better genetics for our kids. Okay, so we got to get the fat out of there. Oh man, there's a cop and I'm holding a phone. What do I do? It's going to lower the phone. Okay, so fasting, only way to clinically extend life. So 3 ways to fast. You can do a water fast, which is probably the most popular, easiest way to fast. Just get yourself some good, high quality water and quit eating. Just do it. You can actually just start right now. Try it for 1 to 3 days. Cop just went through a red light. I think I can hold my phone up. Try it for 1 to 3 days if you'd like. Another way is dry fasting, which means no eating and no water. And this is intense. This is going to get rid of a lot more things like parasites and bacteria in our system. It starves them out. Dry fasting is very intense. I would suggest only doing 24 to 48 hours of it. It is a journey. Good luck. Next way, a problem, especially in Michigan, places like Michigan or the Midwest where there's not high quality food, is the lack of nutrition in our diet. So doing a fast like I've got going every month or so, we've got a group of people going, doing a fast that's in the link right there. It's more of a juice fast that's got super hyper loaded nutrition within the fast. It's a calorie reduction fast, but also it's nutrition abundance so that the body can thrive within the fasted state. There's amino acids so that we don't lose muscle tissue. There's a melatonin producing cherry tart supplement, and there's herbs to get rid of parasites. pesticides. So there's herbs that actually pull out the pesticides that are in the non-organic food, and there's superfood greens. So those are the 3 ways of fasting. We've got dry fasting, we've got water fasting, or we've got like a superfood enhanced fast, which is in the link. And we do it, like I said, once a month. There's a few spots left. So send me a DM, send me a message, and let me know if you're interested in doing that type of fast and why. I also pair it with 10 days of breath work. What's up, man? 10 days of breath work, and we get hyper loaded on prana, which is life force energy, and we use our breath to do that while going through this. It's a 10 days of fasting followed by 30 days of support. So actually what I'm linking is a 40-day overhaul, a 40-day reset. That's all I got today. We talked about being fat, why it's not good for us, how to get rid of it, where stem cells come from, and how to have access to them. I think we covered everything. Sayonara. Hope everyone in Michigan is doing well. I'm out.